Yeah, so I've been doing this 8 trust wallets uh in our minus bit, but like the whole creating it, and then now in this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably do this, the software wallets. It's just an exercise to say, all right, because like you're ordering this, obviously this is the future state. But this whole idea of having you can have more than one trust wallet, you can have more than one MetaMask, and in this case, you can have more than one coin DeFi wallet. So actually, the first thing that's coming in my mind is post in the chat if you have if you use software app wallet, right? So that means is in your iPhone or on your Samsung or your Android or your iPad, do you use a MetaMask, a Trust wallet, or a coin-based DeFi wallet? So if you use MetaMask, Trust wallet, Coinbase, DeFi wallet, any software wallet in the app, in the phone or tablet, type in one. If not, type in two, because there's one thing that I just discovered. I want to go after that. So if you are using it, so a lot of people are using it. Okay, so some sense. There you go, the sense. So this is good. I need to talk about this a little bit. Maybe this is what I'm going to talk about because this one's important. I want to keep it simple. This one is major. So actually this is what I'm going to cover. So Hannah, very good. Hannah for icon. So Heidi, you have the Hannah app. Thumbs up. Hannah app or Hannah Chrome extension? Hannah app or Hannah? So let me unmute you. Uh this meeting thing, live stream. Sorry, Heidi, go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I did the extension because I was trying to figure out what to do with my icon.
Very good, very good. That's what I use as well, the ICX. Play around with the staking too. It's fun. So it's good that you're doing that. But that's not today's subject. So not the app. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna put you behind.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I think this is the focus. I want to spend some time on this. So what happened to me? Let me give you a story. On my phone, I'm gonna use some props. Before the Sense app. So I taught, by the way, I taught everybody how to get mobile coin using the Sense app. It was called Mobi app. And this is what's crazy. The Mobi app got upgraded to the Sense app, and I didn't back up the private keys. And then I don't even know I have balance. I know I don't have a balance. I didn't have mobile coins back then. So now my mobile coin, my the Sense app, the new Sense app, upgraded automatically in my iPhone and wiped out my Mobi. And then I had to create an app. Create a new wallet or restore it. So why am I saying this? This is the same thing with your MetaMask and the Trust wallet and the Coinbase DeFi wallet. We have another member. She had a Coinbase DeFi wallet. It got upgraded. She did not back up the private keys. This is the Coinbase DeFi wallet. And what ended up happening was it automatically update. Remember, once it gets updated, depending on what the update is, it's gonna if it's a what's the word I want to use? A hard update. There's a software update, soft update, meaning you don't have to put the new private keys or create a wallet. But the hard update, a new version, she had to put in the the um, the private keys. So she didn't back it up. And I think she had a few hundreds in there, and then now she couldn't access to that. So what's the point? So I believe even with the Trust and MetaMask, I know Mary uses MetaMask. If you have MetaMask and Trust Wallet, if that gets upgraded, I'm just curious now. Let's just go straight to it. If MetaMask app gets upgraded, do I need to put private keys all over again? I'm not using ChatGPT. How to import an account, private keys, restore secret recovery. Okay, so let's go with curious now. because that's what happened. I haven't seen it in Trust and I haven't seen it in the MetaMask, but I think today's focus is to make sure we're backing up our private keys and testing it Okay. So let me see here, MetaMask. Okay, this is MetaMask. See how this is 3.7 rating. Usually in the bottom, they tell you what version it is or not. So the whole idea is, okay, so um okay there. Version 7.17. Okay, there it is. Version history. Okay. So version 7.7.7. 11 months ago, Wallet Connect. Yeah, there you go. I can see it happening. So here's the scenario. This is MetaMask. This is MetaMask. Okay. Version 7.17.1, right? Version 7. It's version 7. If it goes from version 6, right, 11 months ago, like let's say you never updated your phone, okay? And you're going to version 7, usually this is in software development. Usually a major update is that first number, right? 7.0.1. Minor upgrade is 7.0.2, right? You can see here 7.3 versus 1 and then 7.3 versus 1. Usually it's like a bug with approved transactions. That's like 0.1. But then here's a big update from 7.4. But the bigger update is when this goes to version 8. Okay, so let me go. What I'm trying to say is if you had MetaMask version 6.3.0 and now you're about to update it, it's gonna wipe out that app, and there's a good chance you need to put a new you have to put your private keys all over again. Does that make sense, guys? Thumbs up. Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to say is put in the chat, make sure to back up and test my private keys. Make sure to back up and test my private keys. Okay, so when I say back up, when you back it up, whether you write it down. So by the way, here's the other thing I caught. I think we had another not customer, don't say customer, another family member, another member. She wrote it down, but she didn't write the right order. Okay. So the fact that it's already a software wallet, I would suggest you write it down um, in a key pass, or in this case, a password vault. So today's focus is that one. So I know we just did let's do it right now. We went here. So we did Kinesis software wallet, or I forgot what was that. There's a link to create the wallet. Someone posted it a while back. See here. So okay, so first things first. How do we do this? How do we test this? So number one, private keys. Let's go with what happened. Let's go lesson learned. Starting with me, I'm like, where's my Mobi app? Now it's called the Sense app, and I did not back up the private keys. And now everything I have in the Mobi app, if I had all my cryptos in the Mobi app, now that's turned to Sense app, gone forever. Does that make sense? So guys, post in the chat. Um, do you have Sense app? Who here has Sense app? Type in one. Type in one if you have the Sense app. Okay. Jamie Tracy. Yes, Canadians. Jamie and my Tracy. Where's my Canadians at? Europeans. Guys, where's the Americans? Where's my Heidi? And where's the Americans here? Claudia. Oh, she's driving. But it's like Canadian. UK, Lorraine. I think Lorraine. I don't know if UK, Lorraine. Was it UK? And I was like, now we had married the first American. UK, I apologize. I don't know if this is prophetic, guys. Americans, come on. Like I'm saying that in a not shameful way, but this is for you primarily. Okay. So if you have now you have Sense app, did you test the all of the private keys? Actually, not test and verify. If you tested it, type in one. If you didn't, type in two. Because if the Sense app gets upgraded, like what happened to me, oh my gosh, like there it goes, right? So I was like, wow. And then so same thing with now we'll do the same thing with the Sense app. I would test it, right? So I might downgrade to my phone. So Heidi tested it, Tracy tested it. That's good. So here's the other catch. Heidi and Tracy, did you test all words, not just the specific words they tell you? Okay, how do you test? Oh, I don't want to show mine. I don't want to show the sense. So here's the other thing I discovered. Some of them tests all the words, and some of them don't test all the words. Okay, so I think I can show you this one. This one I think I can do. All things through Christ who strengthens me. Let me see here. All right, so I have a trust wallet. Let's go back to the trust. Um, I don't want to go all over the place. So number one, make sure you back it up and you test it. Okay, so let's see each of the testing phase. Okay, so I'm gonna take out my trust wallet. I'm gonna delete this. So that's what I said. Before you delete it, I don't want to show you that. I want to test it. So let me just check. Be full screen. How do I test the trust wallet settings? View secret phrase. I'm gonna put my password. Okay. Reveal. Show. All right. So I see my secret phrase for my trust wallet. How do you test it? By restoring it. By restoring it. Okay. But I don't want you guys to test it and you just deleted your whole wallet. So let's do this. Okay. Let me use my ARC. Let's go with the Coinbase DeFi wallet specifically. See, this is what's tricky because the Coinbase DeFi, this is where having a second device is awesome. This is awesome. I think today's call is really, really making sure your private keys is really, 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 you have it, you have it, and you have it recorded properly. There you go. There you go. Let's take a vote. Let's take a vote. Thank you, Diane. So post in the chat. So this is software wallet, okay? All software wallet. Let's take a vote. Obviously, everyone's wrote it down, right? Who here has it written down? Okay. Type in one, type in two if you don't have it written down. So here's the danger of the writing down, what I just saw. Okay. If you have it written down, obviously you know there's that risk that if it goes, if you lose it, you're in big trouble. So here's the next question. Next question already. Next question. Who here? How many copies do you have of that private keys? So here's another one. So we have, remember, if you have one, you have two, you have three. So remember, I teach three. Make sure you have three. Good, good, good. I'm seeing a bunch of two and three. So we had one member during a move. She lost hers during a move. And her husband lost his second move, right? So the private keys, you don't necessarily have to have here. Actually, now that I think what's good is I teach the key pass, the password vault. Who here uses a password vault? I like this one better. Okay, who here uses a password vault? This is where you have one master password for all your passwords. Okay, just type in one if you have that. So you have that. iPhone has it. KeyPass, I thought. So a lot of people don't use that. So here, that's what I want to use. Because since your private keys, you have it written down and it's already in public. Yes, KeyPass, Mayor. It is KeyPass. This is where I put the private keys inside the password, right? So you know how this is, remember, KeyPass. This is only for specific for KeyPass. For KeyPass, maybe this is the exercise of what we're doing now. Maybe this week, maybe that's the focus because I feel like, and you have this hardware wallet, no, software wallet. Sorry, I apologize. Not hardware wallet. Do not put your passwords If it's a software wallet, I believe it's okay to put in a key pass because it's already exposed. If your laptop's already exposed, if you put it in a file, it's already there. So with that being said, I'm trying to prevent when it gets upgraded, it wipes out your private keys. You're in big, big trouble. So what you do is you copy that key pass. Let me share it to you guys. So here's the program. It is open source. This is an app that keeps all your password in one area, in one file with one master password. There's the QR code. Okay, QR code. Here's the QR code. 1001, 1002, 1003. This is where my suggestion, which we'll probably practice, actually we'll do it now. We'll do it now. This is where, okay, I'll probably do this and then I'll take questions. So in this case, I'm gonna download, you go download, depending on your product, right? Linux, Androids, whatever, any one of these should work. I use, I'm like, I don't want, everyone's giving me another tool. I feel like I'd rather have the file because this is what I do. So in this case, I use this KeyPass XC. This is for Mac, okay? This is for Mac. This works for only Mac. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do the Windows, but they should be all similar. So when I download this, okay, you download it. So I can show it to you guys how it looks. So let me pause share. Okay. So you have an idea. I'm not going to do the full teaching on it. So now, okay, here we go. So when you have this, here's the key pass. I'm going to create a new one, a new database. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to call it Erwin and Isminas. I'm just going to say this is a test one. Okay. You can call it whatever you want. This is the database. Oh, you guys are not seeing this. Are you? Am I sharing my screen? Share. Oh, it's not going to show this. Oh, I can't share screen. So you guys are not seeing this because that's how. Okay, so now more homework. So Mr. Jim Rocks, we have to create a guide for this because they can't see what I'm showing. I don't know if I can't screen share it. So nothing is showing. Passwords, sure. Password test. It is not showing at all. Passwords. Sorry, guys. Password demo. What's going on with my? Okay. Passwords. There you go. Demo. Okay, you guys are obviously not seeing it. Okay, never mind, because you're not seeing it. So we'll probably have to create a guide. Basically, in the password section, that's where you put the private keys. I should have done a test run, but obviously this is so secure, they won't even share to you what's happening in the screen. That's so good. That's so good. All right, so what did we learn today? And I'll take some questions. Yes, you can use an iPhone. So Tracy, it's all in my Android. The file goes in my Android. That one file, just like a text file, just like a a Word file, you can open it in all your devices. Google. So I have it in my Android, I have it in my tablet, I have my iPad, I have it in my Android tablet, I have it in my Windows, I have it in Mac. So that's what's cool about this file. So what's the point of today's class? Today's class is number one, make sure you back up 3 copies of your private keys, preferably husband, wife, spouse, if not best friend, and a third person in your will in 3 locations. In 3 locations. Why? Your house burns down, you have it written down, there it goes. You're in big, big trouble. Okay. So, and then test it. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm doing too many things. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause key pass. Pause key pass, guys. Pause key pass. I'm gonna park that. Next piece is you want to test it. How do you test this? So in this case, you can open up preferably a second device, right? your spouse, right? So in this case, Asmina, that's what's good to have a spouse. It's good to have a good friend, your children. But the whole idea is testing in another device. Okay, you test that Coinbase DeFi wallet. You test. Unfortunately, you can't test the cents because it's by phone number. You test that Trust wallet. You test that MetaMask. Why? You test it and make sure it works. Like I feel like you should even do this quarterly, especially if you have it written down. If you have it written down, I would suggest you test this quarterly. Guys, post in the chat. Have you tested your private keys? In this case, we're doing software wallets right now lately. Okay. That's why you want to test this every quarter. Why? Because one coffee spill, right? I did a coffee spill and it blurts out the word. You're in big trouble. If that gets ripped, you're in big trouble. The dog eats it, you're in big trouble. That's why, I mean, maybe Wednesday I'll teach on key pass, right? So right now it's all making sure it's recorded 3 times, 3 locations, and tested. When I say tested, like even when you write the new one, obviously you're eyeballing it to say, hey, does it match? But I would suggest you get that and you test it. So how do you test? Simple. You remember a second device, not the first one, okay? Because the first one, if you test it and you deleted that one and your thing is wrong, there it goes. When you're testing, guys, post in the chat, when you're testing, always test in a new device. When you're testing, always test a new device. So with that being said, I got iPhone 1, you got iPhone 2, you have iPhone 1 set up, iPhone 2, you're gonna test the private keys. Okay. And then when you get a third paper, someone that you're gonna give it to somebody, delete that on the second device, not on the first device. Once again, if you have the first device, you deleted it, and the private keys doesn't work, you just wiped off all your cryptos. So in this case, test the second one, test the third one on the second device. How do you do that? Simply uninstalling the MetaMask, the Coinbase DeFi wallet, the Trust wallet, and re-entering it on your second device. Guys, post in the chat again. Um, uh, um, Always test in the second device. Okay. Heidi, I saw laminate the paper. I don't suggest that fire thing stuff. That's why until next week I'll touch. I mean, this one getting it in a Keystone tablet is more for hardware wallet. Next week, I mean next Wednesday, this Wednesday, I'll probably teach on storing it digitally because it's already revealed digitally, and then having both, right? So you have it on paper in your notebook, laminated. But when you have in the key pass, you have it in a file. I email it to Asmina. I email it to the third person in my will. So at least you have that because it's already digital. It shows you that. Okay, so let me open up some questions. We're gonna keep it simple. Today is literally recording it. Test, remember your Coinbase DeFi wallet, Trust, MetaMask. Make sure you test it on the second device, your private keys, because I don't want it when it gets upgraded and it says, hey, do you want to create a new wallet or import a wallet? You're like, what? I never wrote down the private keys. There goes hundreds, thousands, potentially millions of dollars. Okay, so let me take some questions in here. Okay, Yvette, if you test the second device, why would you have no uninstall if that's not on this? Let me go with Yvette. Hey, Yvette. Um, hey, Yvette. So, what's your question here, Yvette?
If you test it on a second phone that you don't have a MetaMask or Trust Wallet or Coinbase, why would you have to uninstall it when you just try to
Oh, no,
download
sorry.
that app?
I wasn't in sequence. That was for the third one. So if the third one on that second device, when you write down the third time you write it down, test it for the third time using that third paper. Does that make sense, Yvette? Because sometimes when you write it down the third time and you misspell a word, and you're like, oh, it's good. And that was the only final copy that lasts, the first two, and you didn't test it, you're in big trouble. So I apologize. The uninstall is that third testing. Sorry about that. Is that
Okay.
Yvette?
Yeah, I was just a little unclear if I'm testing it on, say, my husband's phone and he doesn't have MetaMask and I download MetaMask, I can just open it up on that to see if it's correct,
Correct.
right?
So that's
Okay.
the second paper. And then
Uh-huh.
when I said the uninstall word, that was in the context of the third test, which is with that second device, you don't need a third device. With that second device, uninstall the MetaMask or the Trust
Okay.
or the Kinesis device, and then do it again with the third private keys that was written. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Apologize for that one. All right. So anything else? Any more questions? So that's it. We're keeping this simple. KeyPass, thank you, John. That's the one right there. Can we use this on our phone? Yes, Tracy. All devices. Once again, Wednesday, we'll park that on Wednesday. I don't want to overwhelm. Today is private keys. That was a shocker. Test it quarterly. Test it quarterly, right? Because you never know, right? It could be like it can get ripped. The dog ate it, or one of the babies ate it. You want to make sure you test this. Any more questions? We're keeping this light because I was like, wow, that sucks because I lost my Mobi app, which is the Sense app. I don't think I had mobile coins in there. Hopefully not. But I'm saying is, imagine you have this. And you're like, oh, I never knew I had this, and you had like XRP or Bitcoin like 15 years ago. Bitcoin like 2 cents or something. It's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. You don't want to lose that. And this in 6, 7, 8 years could be worth hundreds, thousands, potentially millions. And this one mistake, you're like, oh, I had it in my old phone and it's for my children's children. At Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Shiba, Inu, Luna Classic. And then test it. If you have it on paper, like you should, by the way, you shouldn't even have it. Everything should be in a final state as hardware wallet. And then this, but even this, so same concept. That's what we're building on it. When you test this, every time you set this up, you test it, right? When you move from paper to this, you test this. When you move this to another Keystone tablet here, you test this because you want to make sure, because you don't want, you're trying to restore it. You're like, what? Why is this word not working? Why is this word not working? And I like this whole concept of audits or quarterly testing or semi-annual testing or a yearly testing, because you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe the letter fell off, right? You never know. Like, what is this? Is it cake? Is it can? Is it cat? I don't know. What is it? And then you're like, that word fell off somehow, something like that. Okay. Any more questions? I think the last one is Mary. Let me see here. Why does an exchange have the right to change your email? They don't. They don't have the right of. That's a different note. You have to request for that one. All right, Mary, go ahead. Last question.
Hi, Irvin. I just click on the KeyPass info.
Yeah, so
The
so
John did it.
park this on Wednesday. We're not going to talk about keys. I don't want to overwhelm our foundation. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
I
this.
just want a really simple question. Is the KeyPass 2.56 released? Is that a latest version
It doesn't
that
matter.
we have to download?
It'll prompt you with the most latest, greatest. So it doesn't matter. Even though you've
Okay.
downloaded it, obviously it'll be nice to have the latest, greatest. But if it's the outdated, it'll tell you and I'll update you and say, hey, we have a latest, greatest. Sometimes it might not
So
even.
it'll be upgraded automatically, you mean?
It'll prompt you to say, hey, we found a newer version. Sometimes the newer
Uh-huh.
version might not be in the website. So it doesn't matter, whatever's there. It's gonna prompt you to say, do you want the latest, greatest? Okay.
Okay.
Good question, Eric. So we'll continue that on
Okay.
Wednesday. We'll continue on Wednesday. All right, guys. I'll see you guys. Post your questions there. I apologize. I think that one's there. Try to get into this, and then I think we'll talk about key pass because that was a shocker. All right.